Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Before I Do, the show that shares with you everything that should be done before saying I do. So whether you are married, dating, or if you are interested in dating, we are here to facilitate courageous conversations on dating and relationships. Charmaine, are you there? Charmaine, can you hear us? All right. So as you all can see, Charmaine is actually out of the area right now. Seems like she may be having some technical difficulties. And so we are going to roll right into our Speak Now night. Tonight is our Speak Now Q&A night. So we are here to answer your questions. So please be sure to put those in the comment section and share with us anything that is on your mind regarding dating and relationship. And Charmaine and I will delve into our experience and expertise to get those questions answered for you. We want to say shout out to Laquita for saying good evening. Hey, Quita B, good to see you this evening. And so if you have a question, be sure to drop that in the chat. However, over these past few weeks, we have been talking about this whole idea of dating significantly out of your age range. And so our Speak Now question of the night actually has been for the past month. Have you dated someone significantly outside of your age range? What was your experience like? And would you do it again? We talked about the pros and cons and really went through this whole idea of what it's like to date outside of your age range. Charmaine, can you hear us yet? I guess not. So Charmaine is still having some technical challenges. And so I want to give a shout out to Oklahoma in the house. Don Juan, thank you so much for chiming in. Angela says good evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Before I Do. And so my counterpart, my partner, my friend, my lover, my wife, Charmaine, is actually again out of the area. She will probably be jumping back in soon. However, tonight is our Speak Now Q&A night. So if you have a question, be sure to put it in the comment and we will be sure to address that. But again, we have been talking about this whole idea of dating outside of your age range, which we say is 10 years or more. So whether that is 10 years older or 10 years younger, what are the challenges that are associated? What are some of the issues? We talked about a lot of those things. And so it was really enlightening to really look at some of the challenges that come along with either dating someone significantly older or significantly younger. One of the most fascinating things is how a lot of those issues mirror dating in general. So whether you're dating someone that is older, younger, or someone that is within your age range and peer group, some of the challenges are essentially the same when it comes to this idea of making sure that you are compatible, making sure that you are not adhering to certain stereotypes, having issues with family and friends and potential career paths, and making sure that your values and principles align. So those things can often be magnified when there is a significant age difference. Even things like culture, which a lot of those things, when there is a age gap, can be attributed to, again, age in that regard. But there can be cultural differences even when you have someone of the same age group, but maybe there are cultural differences because of ethnicity. Maybe there are cultural differences because of social economical issues. So either way, the bottom line is there are going to be some issues that you are going to confront when you are dating someone in general, but being able to anticipate those things when you're dating someone outside of your age range. And one of the things that we talked about on the show last week was being prepared to deal with the stereotypes that come with someone dating outside of your age range, being able to prioritize and having communication issues, again, because of some of the gaps that may exist when it comes to what your priorities look like for you and what it may look like for your younger partner or your older partner. And then again, as we talked about culture, which alludes to those lifestyle differences, and really being able to have a really candid conversation about those gaps. And then the last three, we talked about family tension. For those of you who may have brought home an older partner or for some of you who are older that may have brought home a younger partner, you can attest to the whole idea of the tension that can exist between your family and your partner. And studies show that the dynamic between a younger spouse, that is a woman, and older daughters for the gentleman, there's definitely some challenges that take place there. When it comes to your circle of friends and your partner's interaction with those individuals, those things are really heightened and magnified when there is an age gap. If you have someone who is 15, 20 years older than you and bringing them around your friends to do some of your activities, is that person going to be able to fit in comfortably and with that, or do you leave them behind? And those are things that you'll want to take into consideration. And speaking of consideration, when we think about aging, when we think about this idea, are you prepared to be a caregiver for your partner? Now, again, this is an issue where even if the person is of the same age, maybe your partner has a traumatic accident. Maybe your partner, again, is someone who falls ill because of health challenges. So this is something that is a lot more prevalent and visible and should be front of mind when there is a significant age gap there. But we know that at any time, anything can happen. And so we have to think these things through. And it can be a bit morbid, but it is important that when we're thinking about dating outside of our age range, to really make sure that you bring all things into consideration. You guys are tuned into Before I Do. Tonight, again, is our Speak Now Q&A night. And so we are here to answer your questions and for all of your comments. And so we are going to take a really brief commercial break, and we will be right back with more Before I Do. Stay tuned, everybody.
Hassani and Danielle here. I'm so excited. Look at us. Look at where we at. Look at where we at. We are at the Hilton Alpharetta, looking at this room before the incredible transformation that's about to take place on October 7th. Walls draped, stage up, lights, camera, action. And we want y'all to be there.
Are you going to be here?
Come on, get your tickets. It's October 7th. You don't want to miss this event. It is the Phoenix Awards Gala. It is our first inaugural, and we're just getting started. We starting hot.
Oh yeah,
we jumping out this gate like never before.
We believe either you go hard or you go home. We're not gonna be home. We're gonna
go hard or go home.
Where you need to be.
Come on,
so let's get it.
We want to see you on October 7th. Go to get your tickets at couplesacademy.com. We'll see you there.
was the Phoenix Awards Gala. We are little less than a week away from that Saturday, October the 7th. We are so excited and are nearing sell-out status. If you are intended or even thinking about going, you need to go ahead and get your tickets now. It is going to be an absolutely amazing event. There's going to be live entertainment. There's going to be dancing. We are going to be networking. There's going to be amazing food. So it is going to be an outstanding experience. And so we strongly advise you to go ahead and get your tickets. There are only a few seats left, and that's no exaggeration, no hyperbole. There are only a few seats left for the Phoenix Awards Gala. So that's going to be taking place next Saturday, October the 7th. Please be sure to check out couplesacademy.org to get your tickets. Charmaine and I will be there. And again, if you all enjoy us on this show, I'm telling you, there's nothing like experiencing us in person. So be sure to check it out on couplesacademy.org. And I believe that I have my beautiful bride back on the line. Charmaine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening, Charmaine. Thank you so much for pushing and fighting through and being on the line with us tonight. Again, it's our Speak Now Q&A night, and we did a quick review of our past month that we have been discussing this whole idea of dating outside of our age range. So what are your thoughts about some of the things that we discussed about dating younger, dating older, and some of the challenges that come along with dating outside of your age range?
Well, I think one thing I've enjoyed about it is that, age is this thing that it doesn't have to limit us, right? It can be something that we lean into it in an exciting way, right? It can provide diversity, it can provide spontaneity, excitement, all of those things. But there is also a reality in any relationship when you have those gaps, right? Gaps in the years, gaps in experience, gaps in culture, things like that, that you have to be willing to be a student, a lifelong learner.
Charmaine, can you hear me? Can you hear us?
I'm unsure if you guys can still hear me, if that's on my end or yours, Walter.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
I can, yes.
Go ahead.
Did you lose me?
No, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So just one thing that I'm excited about, regarding the topic is it provides this excitement, this newness, this, but it also provides a lot of questions. It really ushers the couple into some courageous conversations that have to be had in order to set yourself up for a successful relationship.
Absolutely. And as always, you all, the conversations in this show is designed to just make sure that you have the proper information before making a decision, regardless of what you do. A lot of times we can talk ourselves out of things just because we don't have all of the proper information, or maybe we have been misinformed. So we really want to tackle these topics to ensure that you do your due diligence in really looking into something before you just dive into it or make a decision based off of someone else's experience. So we really want to have these courageous conversations and use it as an opportunity to make sure that we're all educated and informed when it comes to a lot of these topics, and dating outside of your age range is just one of them. All right, now you all have not put any questions or comments in the chat, but that is completely fine because Charmaine is a talker and I have learned to be a talker over the years. And so we are going to tease our topic for next month. This is something that Charmaine and I have talked about, and admittedly, it is something that I have struggled with doing and also struggled with actually seeing and understanding. And we are going to be talking about flirting. Yes, we are going to be talking about flirting. Now, some of you out there are some natural flirters. Some of you are great as far as when it comes to discernment and perception and being able to pick up on the nuances of when someone is interested in you. And then you have people like me, where I can just be completely just clueless, where I'm constantly, where in the past I've constantly guessed wrong, thinking someone was flirting and they weren't, thinking someone was not flirting and weren't aware that they were. And so we're going to run the entire gamut of this whole idea of the science and the art of flirting. Are there different types of flirting? How do you know when someone is flirting with you? So, Charmaine, I know this was a topic that you were really excited about when we were brainstorming and thinking about some things that we wanted to discuss. So this whole notion of flirting, right? And it's actually evolved, we would say, over the years. The way that people may often flirt now, is it the way that people flirted 10, 15, 20 years ago? So we really are going to kind of cover that. So what are your thoughts as we get ready to go into this particular topic?
I definitely think that it's important for everyone to know what their flirt language is. It is a language, right? It's a form of nonverbal communication. So I think it's a very powerful thing. And so, yeah, as we go into it, I'm excited about it. There is a psychology of flirting, and you're going to learn more about how you flirt, maybe what your strategies are. Do you use more verbal flirting, more nonverbal flirting, that kind of thing? And so super excited about that. I will tell you, though, that we have some questions that have come in.
Yep. Yes, we do. I do see those. And so, yeah, we're going to roll right into it. Mario asked the question, am I a bad person for cheating on my girlfriend? I feel very bad. And then this is a very important part. He says, I keep making the same mistakes. So what we will preface this in saying is that this is, first of all, predicated on the agreement or arrangement that you have with your mate. We know that there are certain people who they have open relationships. We live in a day and age of people being polyamorous and different things of that nature. So first of all, it is contingent upon the relationship and understanding that you have with your mate. However, based on the verbiage that you are using, the idea and what we're getting is that this is the understanding that you and your partner seem to have agreed upon or are desiring a monogamous relationship, and you are going outside of the boundaries and the confines of that. So this is, first of all, we want to move past this notion of good or bad, because this is about dealing with your behavior, where we want to be careful to make assumptions based on your behavior about your character. And so we're not going to say you are a bad person. What we will say is that, what are your values and the principles? Because it sounds like you are violating those. And if you are violating your personal values and principles and going outside of the agreed upon boundaries of your relationship, then you really want to dig into that. You really need to really get into the question of what it is that is making you stray, that is making you go outside of the confines of your relationship. And truth be told, everyone, a person that cheats isn't necessarily because of their mate. The majority of the time, it is because of something inside of that cheating individual, something inside of the betrayer that is causing them to stray. And it is usually something that is rooted beyond them being in a romantic relationship. Charmaine, what say you?
Definitely. Am I a bad person? That goes back to your fingerprint, right? That's your identity. And I am is a very powerful thing to say. So to say, am I a bad person? No, you're not a bad person, but you are making some very challenging, you're making some decisions that's hurting your partner and causing pain. And when you're doing that repeatedly, you haven't gotten to the core issue. There is somewhere your wants, your needs, and your desires are more valuable than the needs of you providing your partner with the monogamy that they're asking for. And so you have to ask yourself, why are my desires stronger than my need to love and be committed to my partner? And so that's the question that needs to be asked. And what are those underlying needs and wants that I have? Because you're picking that over the connection with your partner every time that you choose to go outside of the relationship and outside of those bounds. And so definitely you need to do some one-on-one work one-on-one work, intensive work with you to really ask yourself, or do you want to be in a relationship right now? Because you're sabotaging, right? If you're continuing to go outward, there's something that you are either not being honest about what you need and want with your partner so that they can at least work towards providing it for you, or, you're either not advocating for what you need or you want, or there's something that your partner can't provide that you really, really want, and you're choosing to advocate for yourself. And so either way, there's some one-on-one work that can be done. And so definitely reach out, get the support that you need. You don't want to continue to hurt someone that you say you care about.
Yeah, and the telltale sign that you haven't got to the root of it is by your admission that you keep making the same mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is that you're moving on from that indiscretion, but not learning the lesson as to what caused you to make it. And so until you get to the root of it, it doesn't matter who you're in a relationship with. It doesn't matter how much you may care about them. You're going to continue to persist in that behavior until you get to the root of exactly what is causing you to stray. Michelle, good evening, Michelle. Thank you so much for tuning into Before I Do. Michelle asked, my partner is 8 years younger than me, but I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 15 years ago. It's been a problem all the way through, and I've aged badly, and now I am getting more disabled. My partner is really struggling with this and really wants to leave. What do I do? Which would cause I would lose everything.
So this one is a really big one, because we're talking about, you have a diagnosis of Parkinson. It's 15 years in progress. You're saying that it's progressing. And so now you love your partner, but your partner is at a crossroads. Your partner has to decide, are they capable of loving you and being the companion that they signed up for, right? And now an additional role and a responsibility has been added to that, which is the role of caregiver. Now they're your partner, but now they're having to come to a reality that they're going to have to wear the hat of caregiver for you. And so while you mentioned in your response, you said my partner is really struggling and wants to leave. Well, this goes back to the circle of control. You only can influence your partner to stay. But to be honest, this is an inside out situation. Your partner has to want to be there. They have to want to stay. And so I would ask the question, first of all, why is it becoming more of a struggle for your partner? Is it because as the Parkinson progresses, are they struggling with your personality? Has your temperament changed? Is it about the impact that the Parkinson has? Is it about your mentality? This is an opportunity to have a really big, courageous conversation about the relationship. What aspects of the relationship is making your partner happy? And which aspects of the relationship is causing your partner to make the decision that they may want out? And until you get to that, don't assume it's the Parkinson's. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's they don't mind the caregiving part. Maybe it's the moods that come along with it. Maybe, it's some other elements. So I absolutely think that, this warrants a courageous conversation. We are definitely experts at having courageous conversations and making sure that you are prepared to get the answers that may be a hard truth, and that you're prepared to make sure that you're able to move forward regardless of what your partner decides. Now, we would hope that, to support that process, but definitely either way, you are only in control of you, and we want to make sure that you have a good quality of life, and that you're happy as well.
Yeah, it is imperative that the two of you all have a courageous conversation. And here at the Couples Academy, we really are adamant about helping to mediate those types of discussions, because it's important that you have the right person to help make sure that both parties are being heard. Mm-hmm. And also to understanding that your partner has the right to make a choice that's in their best interest. It may not be the desired choice that is going to be favorable for you, but it is important to respect their decision and to ensure that they're able to walk in that. In a situation, you want to be careful that this person isn't staying out of guilt, because that can only lead to someone that may not be able to care for you in the way that you need to, because they are lacking empathy. So it's very important that you seek us out, reach out to us to serve as a mediator for that discussion, but ensure that you are respecting whatever your partner decides in that regard. Hey, everybody. What'd you say?
I was going to say that I had an epiphany moment about actually the previous question, and about when a person continues to cheat on their partner, and then and they keep making that same mistake, right? So we definitely wanted to provide get to the core of the issue, right? Get that one-on-one coaching so you can get to the core of the issue so you're not repeating that. But one thing that popped up in my mind just now and thinking about this work that we do is also making sure that if you are the partner, right, and you've gone through this experience with a partner who's cheated and infidelity has been that common practice, my question is, what was the forgiveness process? What was the recovery process? And was there actual repentance, reconciliation, restitution? All the R's, in the recovery work, that's never, oh, I did this thing, I apologize, I won't do it again. That is not a recovery process, right? Those are just words, right? And so I would absolutely encourage that if you find yourself repeating a behavior, a lot of times, until there is a true consequence, I want you to just audit yourself. Are you the type of person that changes your behavior just on your own? You're just self-motivated to do it. You stick with it. You're committed. You're done, right? But when there is something that really just, man, this is a vulnerability, this is a weakness that you have, it may even be, something that you just, man, it's hard for you to have that willpower to say no. If that's you, ask yourself, what does it take for you to get to a place where you are ready to really change? Unfortunately, for some of us, we have to hit rock bottom. For some of us, your partner has to walk out the door and leave you before you get your act together, before you really believe that your sorries, your mistakes, your repeated behavior is not going to get you a reset. And so we don't want anyone to go through that experience to where you allow yourself to get that bad. So I'm just encouraging you to get the support that you need, get the one-on-one counseling, call us, book us for a session. Everyone at Couples Academy is so wonderful at supporting couples in this work. But I just wanted to say that because, man, you. And there has been times in your life in the past, what did it take? Did you have to hit rock bottom before you were willing to reach out and ask for help? Well, don't hit rock bottom. Don't wait. Pick up the phone, call, book a session, get a one-on-one, and really do some work on you so that you're not continuing to hurt people you love.
You're tuned into Before I Do. Tonight is our Speak Now Q&A night. We do this every last Wednesday night of the month. We are here to answer your questions. And if you have a question, please be sure to text it to 678-200-8996. And we will be right back here at the end of next month with another Speak Now Q&A night. In the meantime, we are going to say goodnight. And once again, encourage you to join us next week for the Couples Academy Phoenix Awards Gala going down on Saturday, October the 7th in beautiful Alpharetta, Georgia. It's going to be an amazing night. It's going to be the celebration of love, relationships, and resilience. And so thank you all so much again for tuning into Before I Do tonight. We will see you all next week where we will get into our series on flirting. Until then, my name is Walter Jennings.
My name is Charmaine Jennings. We want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. And thank you for your questions, Mark and Michelle. And we definitely will keep you all sending that positive energy your way.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, Watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples. Sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.